Well, hello everybody, it's BugEater64 and we're here once again with the Bell412. We're going to be flying a FSEconomy flight. Going to be taking some passengers, and we're actually going to have two legs to this flight. Let me show you here as we look at our map. This is my little nav map software, and as you can see over here, we're flying from Beale Air Force Base to Wallom Field, and we're going to be carrying about 6 or 7 passengers there. And then on our final leg, we're going to have to cross some of the foothills. Here we're going to go on Mesa Del Ray, KKIC, and that's where we'll be finishing our flight. Total flight's about 176 miles and should take just under 2 hours, and we've got plenty of fuel today, so that won't be an issue. And we should have, some happy passengers if I can land this thing properly. We're going to see some clear air turbulence on the way. The weather's going to be a bit windy, so especially in the second leg of the flight. So we may see some bucketing back and forth and up and down of the helicopter, which means we're probably going to have some airsick passengers. But hey, that's the way it is. So with that, let's get inside the cockpit and let's get this thing started. So we will see you there. Okay, we got rid of the before flight stuff so that we don't burn up our engines and cause fires. And let's see what we got here. Throttle check, okay. Set that to idle. Check our controls. Collective's good, cyclic's good. Get rid of that. This is not a flight jobs flight. And rudders are fine. Our anti-torque pedals. And batteries on. Inverters on. Anti-collision. And go up here. Set that on. So we're all set there. Let's turn on some fuel. Alright, force trim is on, hydraulic systems are on. You can see the fuel pressure is up. So start up engine number 1. Off to a good start. We got rotor rotation. Make sure it settles down. Start engine number 2. Okay, so we got 2 good engines running. And generator 1, generator 2 on. That worked good. Okay. Set that to flash. Alright, we're looking pretty good here. Get our autopilot 1 and 2 on. And let's make sure the flight plan's ready to go. Put that to GPS. Flight plan. Okay, we're going from Kebab, then to HCA8, and finally stopping at KKIC. So let's got the repeater going. Set up our default ATC ident. I don't use ATC in the sim, but I just do this because I can. Alright, so looks like everything's ready to go. Run up some RPM. Okay, we're gonna incrementally jump that RPM up a little bit. So we can get it into the green. Yeah, look good. Okay, fuel looking good, gauge is looking good. Okay, track is going to be 176. Final case KIC is 165, so that's what we're going to set up on the front panel. Okay, that's looking good. Get rid of our external power. Log on to FSEconomy. Everything's loaded. We're in good shape. So we're ready to get out of here. And naturally, the passengers want to give their 2 cents. Bunch of Jabberwockies. Okay, so gonna get some speed up and gain a little bit of altitude. We're not gonna need a lot because we're basically flying down the valley here. Central California. So we say goodbye to Beale Air Force Base as we continue our journey down south, Southern California, heading for piece by piece, heading towards our home base at KWJF. It's a 500 foot a minute climb rate. Airspeed's about 117, 118. And as you can see, we're kind of moving right down the interior of California between all the mountain ranges. So our first stop at 8 is Charlie Alpha 8. I think it's about 62, 65 miles. Wallom Field. And barometric pressure is 3021, so get that set up. Alrighty. Looking good. Alrighty, so coming into the airport. Yeah, apparently there is no real 3D buildings or anything here. It's just a strip with a windsock, but that's what we're going to land on very, very shortly. Good sized runway though. Like I said, there are no 3D buildings here. But it's not an airport I use all the time, so we can deal with that. So let's get rid of some of this altitude, slow this old girl down, and try to put her on the ground in one piece. This is just the first leg of this flight, so we're going to dump some passengers here. Basically stop on the runway, throw them out the door, get ready for the next leg. We are a no-frills air service. want drinks, you want munchies, you bring them yourself. We can't afford them. And if you want a really good flight, bring extra for the aircrew. Alright, so we're easing it down, slowing her down. So we're just going to go down here, take our time, losing altitude, and then we'll, basically I'm just going to turn around so I can keep taking a look at this airfield and see where I can put her down. I'm thinking of trying to land about midway on the runway. We'll see how that goes. I was hoping there might have been at least like a parking ramp, and it just looks like there's the runway and a taxiway. Now I'm also flying this with the experimental flight model, and I've noticed that sometimes with my rudder, instead of it being subtle, it does that. It kicks real hard left or right. So I haven't been using the experimental flight model, but I wanted to give it a shot. And it's not bad. And I haven't had any real issues with VRS, vortex ring state, but for some reason the rudder is, and it may be because my rudders are just old, and so they're not as smooth operating as they once were, but they still work. So you know, what the heck? If they work, keep using them. So, but we're going to set it right down here on the runway. Wants to slide to the left, but we're going to bring it back over here to the right. Here will be fine. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Disarm doors.
It's all part of our service. Okay, so we're down on the runway.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our destination. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. This will indicate that we have parked at the gate and it is safe to move around in the aircraft. Please check around your seat, including under your seat, as well as your seat pockets for any personal belongings. Please take care when opening the overhead lockers, as heavy articles may have shifted during the flight. If you require deplaning assistance, please remain in your seat until all other passengers have disembarked the aircraft. One of our crew members will then be happy to assist you. On behalf of our entire crew, I'd like to thank you for joining us today on our flight, and we hope to see you again.
Okay, so let's go ahead and end this first part of the flight so we get credit for these passengers. And while we're all doing this, we can possibly take a look at the landing again. And as you can see, there just isn't anything around here. That rudder kick really, man, it's abrupt. It doesn't do it every time. When it does it, it catches your attention. That rudder kick can really mess up your, it really affects when you're trying to hover. But not too bad. And we are down. Very nice. Okay, so we've settled, getting ready to do the second leg here, so we're getting ready to restart the engines, which I'm going to have to end up hooking up my external power, which is normally the case. Once I've landed, for some reason it doesn't want to restart without external power. I try all the time, but it just doesn't want to do it. So let's go ahead and turn off the generators, turn the battery back on, and external power. Everything looks good. Let's go ahead and see if we can start it up. Oh, I know what I didn't do. Okay, what we probably are going to have to do here. I didn't crack my throttle, so let's go ahead and take a look at that.
I want like 3 pieces of lettuce. It's fun and they have really drinks. I need to be casual. I need to.
This is all fine. This should be fine. Okay. And let's see, fuel's turned on. Everything's there. Good there. We'll double check everything. And set the throttle to idle. And it'll start right up. And y'all sit down back there and behave yourself. Put your seat belts on. Flight attendant, you have my permission to gob slap them suckers if they don't behave. Interrupt my coffee. They should be ashamed. Alright, let's get this engine 2 started here. Generators on. Everything looking good. Alright. That's what I'm talking about. Both engines are running. Check our flight plan, make sure everything's ready to go.
It's fun and they have really drinks. I need to be casual.
Double check, activate. All right. Heading to track is already set on the front panel to 165. So, throttle up. They are a noisy group, aren't they? Man, goodness. And we have liftoff. Go down here, gain a little speed. Be a little bit windy on this leg of the flight. And we are going to have some foothills. Some people may call them mountains in California, but they're not that tall. So I call them foothills. It'd be about, no more than 4,000 feet. We're going to have to climb over a couple of those to get to our destination. Other than that, it's being windy. It's a very pretty day in California. But it is quite windy. California, where it never rains, just liquid sunshine. Everything appears to be, well, plenty of fuel. Everything's looking good. And way off in the distance, you can see some of those hills that we're going to have to go over. wind be blowing. Alrighty, so we are just about to our destination. It's straight ahead. So we're losing some altitude since we needed about 3,985 feet to get over the top of the mountain. Or, yeah, the foothill. The airport's out straight ahead. So we're going to start losing some altitude here. Slowed the bird down from about 117 down to about 60. So we can take our time losing altitude. Make a nice, easy, simple approach. So, and I have the aircraft. So I'm going to hand fly it the rest of the way in. Because I like to hand fly. Slow it down some, a little bit more. Trying very hard to be very gentle on the rudder pedals because of that. Seem to hit that one spot and it just snaps around. We're going to land at the far end of the airport where the tower area is. There's a general aviation parking there, and that's where we're going to set her down. come right down here to the end of the runway and make a right turn. And we're going to park it right about there where that little T is. General aviation parking spot, and that's where I'm going to put it. Just like that. We are down. Very good. Shut the engines down.
I think I'm gonna go like it's like
Okay, let's turn them off. One, and there's two. And so now we can finish the flight.
I want like 3 pieces of lettuce. It's like taco style. It's fun and they have really drinks.
And the flight is completed. So, just like last time, we can get ready to take a look at that landing just one more time. And this being the very first time I've ever landed at this field, it's amazing what you see in the replay that you never saw in the actual flight. I had no idea that there was a Coast Guard helicopter and a helicopter landing pad right next to it at this airfield. But I saw it on this replay. I'll remember that if I ever come back here. So there we have it. That's a landing I'll take every day of the week. So let's go ahead and shut everything down. Generators off, battery back on, inverters off, and anti-collision off. So that's all looking good. External power. Let's stop the rotors. Alright, and so we can put on our security straps. And we are done. Well, everybody, there you have it. Very safe, uneventful flight. Did hit the turbulence as I expected, but everything worked extremely well. 2 good landings. Crowd was happy. Passengers were happy. That makes the boss happy. Of course, I'm the boss. I'm happy. So what we will do is we will stay right here at Mesa Del Ray and try to plan on our next flight. We'll see what's going to happen. We may get a few missions out of here. We may not. We may have to deadhead it and fly empty to some place where we can pick up some good quality trips. So hope you all enjoyed the flight. I sure had a good time bringing it to you. It's always good when everything goes well. And until next time, this is Bug Eater 64 with the Bell412 in X-Plane 11. And we will see you soon. And as always, safe flying.